Foundry's Nuke is the sources.
Okay, welcome everyone. Again, thank you so much for being here. I can see there's a lot of people on the chat already. And today we have a very special stream because I'm actually, as you probably noticed on the preview, I'm actually not here by myself. I'm not alone at Hugo's desk. I'm actually with the amazing Victor Perez.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
So we can see a lot of people on the chat, and people saying that they love the memes. That's good. So hello, Victor de España. See, there's some people here from Spain as well. There's a lot of people watching. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all the lovely support that you always give us all. But yeah, today we are having a special guest. This is part of my series of spotlights, artist spotlight. As you've seen before, and yeah, we're just gonna have a little nice chat with Victor here.
Yeah. And wait, we are on the same stream. Look.
Yes, it's true.
I am. Yeah. So
if people don't believe it, there's like a back camera there. Look, we're here.
Hello. Yeah.
Last time when I did the stream with with Ian, people didn't believe that we were in the same room. And I was like, yeah, we're in the same room. Yeah, sorry, it looks different, doesn't it?
Because you are very good with green screen, so people don't believe you anymore. And you are good not to believe.
Oh my God. Okay. Anyway. So people say that they love you. See, they all love you. There's already someone on the chat that said that you were number one.
Thank
and
you.
I'm number two. That's okay.
Oh, come on. We are two number ones. Hola, España, que me habéis pedido que hable en español. I just speak a bit of Spanish. Yeah.
I'm Portuguese, so for me that's that I don't understand any of that. Okay, so I guess we are here to chat about a lot of things. First of all, I wanted to chat with you about your life and your career and how's everything going, and of course, then we also have quite a lot of things to talk about this book. Look at that! You've made a book. You actually have a book.
Yeah.
How did this happen?
Yeah, I don't know. I just one day woke up and I saw it in the post.
Oh, it was already there. Yeah. It just showed up. So it's okay. I see. So you got a ghostwriter to write it.
Yeah,
so that's
of
what
course.
happened.
I have no idea about it. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess then I have some questions, but we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. We'll take some. I already tell everyone that we're going to take some questions from the audience. So if you guys have questions, guys and girls have questions, just make the questions. There's also questions going on my Discord channel on my course as well. If you have, we already have 2 questions there as well. So if you have questions, just post them on the chat. I'll try my best to notice all the questions. Okay, if you seem that that you're not being heard, just post again and just spam the question. It's not a problem at all. You can spam the question. It's not a problem at all. But before we even start, there's a few things that I want to get out of the way. So we have 3 giveaways today. 3 giveaways. The first one is going to be my Nuke course. So if you are interested on my Nuke course, you can sign up for that giveaway on the chat right now. Now, as I always say, if you're already a student of mine, you can still sign up, and then I'll give you access to my next course, which is a workshops course, which half of it is released and the other half is not done.
You guys are very lucky, because when I started, I didn't have this guy to teach me. So yeah, use this opportunity.
Don't be like that. Don't be like that. Everyone knows that you already were born already knowing everything.
Of course,
Yeah.
with the wagon in my hand, of course.
Exactly. Now, the other thing as well, that we have a very special giveaway from Foundry. So Foundry, as you all know, we are big fans of them, and they are always very helpful. So they gave away a Nuke Indie license as a giveaway. So if you want to get a Nuke Indie license, it's a 1-year subscription Nuke Indie license. Just get that click in there. And I just wanted to thank Foundry and Jan and everyone there at their team that were so kind enough to give us...
We love you, Foundry. We love you so much.
Thank you so much, Kirsty, and thank you so much, Elise, and thank you so much, Jan, for the lovely giveaways that you always put on our channel. Thank you so much. Now, the last but not least, the best giveaway, I guess, is that Victor is also giving away his book. I'm putting that link there as well. So as you know, Victor just released the Color Management Handbook for Visual Effects Artists. It's a really good book. It's so good that I have 2 copies. Look, I didn't buy 1, I bought 2. And I have the Kindle version, although I can't show the Kindle version.
Yeah, well.
It's in the digital realm. So yeah, so those are the 3 giveaways we have. So sign up for the giveaway. We'll do them at the end though, so you have to endure us for the entire stream to get something for free. Apologies for that.
That's the deal.
Yes, and now we're just going to be there, we're just going to stand here for an hour and not say a thing.
Looking at each other. That's it.
Exactly.
Okay,
So oh my God. Well, it's going to be a lot of dad jokes today, for sure. I apologies for that. So I guess, Victor, I doubt that anyone on the chat doesn't know who you are. I doubt that. But since this is the artist spotlight, which I usually do with artists coming into my stream, why don't you give them a little bit of a rundown of what you do for a living and where you came from and what you do currently? It can be short. I'm sure, again, like I said, most people know you. But if someone doesn't know you, then they might get to know you.
There is always an opportunity. So, my name is Victor Perez. I'm a visual effects supervisor and a director. Right now, I'm supervising a feature film. I cannot say much about that project, so I'm just going to leave it there. But yeah, I used to be a compositor. I am, and I always was a big fan of this guy. I learned a lot from this guy. So yeah, it's absolutely true. I remember one of his videos talking about the gear, the VFX gear that he takes on set. I learned so many things from there, and it's true.
It's all over there.
Yeah, so I got it. So that's why we have more or less the same kit, because I learned from I was stealing from that. So yeah, I'm a visual effects supervisor, and I have been around doing visual effects for already too long, something like 25 years or so. That's too much.
Don't say that to people. People think that we're old then. Don't say that.
Well, I'm not going to contradict that, but yeah, I'm not that old. I'm in the flower of my life. Anyway, so yeah, and I have been teaching also as well, focusing more into analysis of lights and think more about the art, the relation of art and science and technology and all of that. Of course, I use Nuke as a compositor because it's the best software for compositing. And I have been using that. Even I remember this, because now we have time to talk about these things. I remember the first, yeah.
I don't have my socks though. I shouldn't have my sock.
So the first, when I started, by the way, I studied in many years ago with Steve Wright, which is like the real master. When I was studying, I remember I was studying Shake, by the way, in compositing. That was the software that was trending on that time. Well, it was trending. It was the only one that everybody was using. I remember Steve telling us in the classroom that this thing, this guy has an original sealed copy of Shake 4 that was like the latest technology. And by the way, it's a very respectful piece of software.
Yeah,
of course,
it still runs.
It's really old because...
Well, actually, it doesn't run. No, sorry, it doesn't run on the last Mac Pro. But if you run a 2012 Mac Pro, it runs fine.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that was one of the keys for the success of Nuke. That is, Nuke it was very similar to that, but adding the new technology, because that software was not updated for many years. Because Apple just decided to disregard the software. And people myself, I was learning Shake, even if we knew that was like Apple didn't update or develop that anymore. Well, I remember Steve telling me, well, if you go to London, you should just pay a visit to a company called The Foundry, because in that time it was called The Foundry. So
they hate that. They hate when we say The Foundry.
Yeah, well, but that was the official name in that time. And I remember in Wardour Street, in the corner of Wardour Street, with the street that goes to Piccadilly Circus and Leicester Square. And I remember just seeing in the buzzing like, who's that? Hi, my name is Victor. Steve Wright told me to come here to go for, can you explain me about Nuke? And he said, okay, kid, come here. And it was Ben Minal was in there. And he just gave me a t-shirt from Seagraph. And I said, let's get this copy of Nuke, just use whatever, just learn. In that time, nobody was using, it was Shake, was the king of visual effects. Steve told us this software is going to replace everything and is going to change the industry. He was right, because I started learning that new thing, and after a year and a half, everything changed. I think it was Weta, maybe one of the first companies that started adopting Nuke, and after that, in less than 6 months, everybody was using Nuke. And I was very lucky because I already knew Nuke for a long time. So yeah, I'm that old. So yeah.
We'll be fine. Don't worry, everyone. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So now people know a little bit about yourself. Like I said, I don't think anyone here doesn't know you. I'm pretty sure, as you can see, people saying maestro and legend and guru of compositing. Everyone is like giving you here all these lovely messages. So thank you so much for all the love we're getting on the chat. Thank you so much. And I wanted to ask you a few things before we jump into your book, because your book is a really important thing that I really want to talk about. So I don't know if a lot of people are aware of this, but Victor here started as an actor. And I need to know about that. Like, what's... Yes. I need to know about that. Yes. Like, how did that started and how that went?
Well, I started as a professional actor, and I studied performing arts. And that is something that is quite interesting, because my old friends in Spain, they are super surprised that I am working in visual effects. Many of them have no idea that I am still working in visual effects. I started as a professional actor. I always I always like to be in front of the audience as you. I started learning how to tell stories from that perspective, from the actor. I started studying theater in Lucena, in the place that I was born, and I was something like 14, and it was the fault of a very good friend of mine whose name is Antonio Romero. He's, by the way, he's one of the actors of Money Heist, La Casa de Papel. which is a very famous series in Netflix, and he was doing theater with a company in there and then he told me, yeah, come to the theater school, it's quite fun, and I love it. And then I studied at the university performing arts, and I was an actor. I even worked with Antonio Banderas.
Oh my God! I like how you say it. Antonio Banderas.
Yes. And he was the director of the movie Summer Rain, was the international name. It was El Camino de los Ingleses was the Spanish name. And it was a very, very special project for him because it was about his youth. And I love that. Then one day I just discovered that after 10 years working as a professional actor, because I started very, very young, I just said like, I want to do something else. I want to tell the stories in another way. So I started searching for other things, and I started leaving theater behind, and theater, I mean performing in general, until I just said, nah, I'm not that into, I'm not an actor, I don't like the audience. It's all false. I love being in front of an audience, I love acting, but now I prefer other ways of expression. By the way, Haas, everybody knows Haas, he's a director and a good friend of us. He asked me, man, I want you to be on my short film on Project Kronos. And he said, I remember very clear. He said, like, you don't have to do anything special. Just like when you are explaining nuke, but saying these words. And then it was like a mockumentary, and I was doing that, like explaining nuke, and I'm talking about science fiction. I was like, oh my God, it's so convincing. Yeah, so yeah, I just like to have fun. That is the idea. So, yeah.
Now, I wanted to ask you this as well, because this is also something that I wanted to chat, because, you know, as the audience knows, I'm Portuguese, and so I left Portugal almost like, I don't know, I left Portugal in 2006 or something like that, a long time ago, and I left Portugal mainly because I couldn't really get a lot of work. And so you're from Spain originally.
Yeah.
How is that? Like, how is the VFX industry in Spain? I always ask my guests always this, because I have there's always a lot of different countries coming into my show, and there's a lot of people from all over the place. And I was curious to know, because in Portugal, it's just inexistent. There's nothing. Yeah. There's only art movies. That's it. That's the only thing that exists. Right now, there's a little bit more, but how is Spain in the middle of all this? Is there a lot of VFX work? Is it growing? How's it going there?
Okay, this is a question that I love. Not many people ask me about this, but I have no idea about Spain in the visual effects panorama for one very simple reason. I never work in visual effects in Spain. But once said that, I have to say that I try to follow more or less, and I have been, thanks to Foundry, I have been traveling a lot to Barcelona and to Madrid and other places just for doing like events about compositing and teaching, and I'm super happy because I would love to work in Spain. Okay, I'm going to say it now. I would love to work in Spain, but I didn't receive any offers, to be honest with you. So the thing is, like, I have been following, for instance, the work of El Ranchito, which is an amazing company. They have been working on many projects. For instance, Game of Thrones and all that stuff, and they are really good. So yeah, of course, I would love to. But the thing is, like, I left as you did.
Yeah.
I left Spain when I was something like 20. Or something like that. So by the time that I left Spain, I was an actor. So as I said, people is very surprised. Like, oh my God! So you work in visual effects? What is visual effects? And okay, let's sit down. Let's talk about that.
Let's sit down.
So
how much time do you have?
Yeah. So that is the thing. I have no much contact with the Spanish panorama. I would love to have more. I feel kind of ashamed because it's my country, but also I have been living, when I left Spain, I moved to Italy. So I lost a bit of the contact. I'm more familiar, not much, but more familiar with the Italian panorama because I was working in a couple of features in Italy. Right now, the feature film that I am supervising the visual effects is Italian with an Oscar winner director, that is Gabriele Salvatore. And it's a very cool project. I would love to work in Spain. I would love to go back, but you know, I don't have much family left in there, so
it's the same problem as me. Like, and the only reason I would ever even consider working in Portugal again, which I'm not doing that, but I'm burned that way. Like, but it's just because of the weather. It's just better weather, and it's a better food. But it's just a different place than living in, you know, more north like I've done. I've lived in Sweden in UK now. So, but yeah, okay. I just figured. I didn't know that you never worked there. I didn't know that. I thought that you actually. Yeah. I've actually worked more with Spain than you then.
Yeah, definitely. I should ask you.
I've now worked twice. I've worked twice with an incredible company there called Savage TV, and they do some amazing commercials. They're really creative, and I've worked twice now on set for them. One time for Zara and one time for Adobe. And it was really good. They're super talented. They do very specialized work. I don't believe they do film. They only do very specialized commercial work, but they're fantastic. You know.
Yeah. I know plenty of Spanish artists, but I know all of them in London.
Yeah, that's me as well. It's Portugal as well. It's the same thing. There's a bunch of Portuguese people working here as well. Yeah. It's the same thing. Yeah. Okay. Before we move on to more questions that I have questions from the audience. So let's start with this.
Yeah.
So Manny, one of my students, is asking, "Congratulations, Victor, for the book release.
Thank you.
It's already on my wish list for Christmas. I've gone through almost all my training at FX PhD. Your understanding of light, technology, and math was really helping me my progress in compositing. With your knowledge and experience, what led you to believe that you needed to write a book on ACE's workflow and color management?"
Oh, what an amazing question. Okay.
Thanks, Manny.
Okay, thank you, Manny, for the question. Actually, I'm going to be honest. The idea of the book itself didn't come from me. It came from Juan Salazar from Foundry and Jennifer Goldfinch. Hello, I love you. They were wanting me to create a series of tutorials for all the people using, not just for people using just Nuke, but for the people in the industry, because everybody was complaining at facility size and client side. Everybody was like, there is a lot of misunderstanding about that. And color is something that I always loved. I started even before being an actor. I always wanted to work in graphics, graphic design and all of that, and post-processing of printing and all of that. So I have a natural tendency to learn about color and to synthesize. So when they asked me about the things of, can we create a series of videos for teaching people about color management? It was like, okay, let's try. And then I started developing the program. And then it was like, maybe 10 videos of 10 minutes is not going to be enough. Maybe give me a bit more time, a bit more time, a bit more time, a bit more. And after a while, that, by the way, Juan was trying, just please focus on this. Focus on this. And I was like, no, I cannot focus on this, because people, in order to understand this, they need to understand this, because if not, we are going to do what everybody does, just explain that tiny part. But it's not the tiny part what is missing. Yeah. It's the whole base ground knowledge that you need to understand for understanding little things. So I create a monster program, and everybody was in the mud for me just trying to, and after 2 years of, we just decide just to make it into a book, because it's the proper form for this. It was just like so huge, and just in order to put all of that, and even the images that you see in the book were the images that I prepare for the videos, and then I convert it into graphics for the book. So it was a very special thing. I would never have the idea of having the books. It was thanks to them that they induced me into getting all this knowledge together. And then I was like, okay, now that I'm putting in a book, I have the responsibility of putting in a certain way. So it was a journey. So I'm just very grateful, and everybody that is responding so well and giving me compliments. And
there's a bunch of people here saying that they bought the book already. See, Sarvesh is saying they bought it on India. He loves it. Sergio said he's bought it. Like, a bunch of people here bought it, and they're all very happy to have it. I think for me, like personally, like I think there's never been a compendium of ACEs or color management for visual effects ever. I mean, we have all this information if you really go deep in research and go on several books. I mean, I have several books on the shelves there that if I collect all of them together and take like a few chapters from each, I might get there. But it's going to take me like forever to get there. So I'm really glad that you've made the book. Again, on another topic for the same book, I have another question here. And again, keep the questions coming. So if you have questions, please ask them on the chat as well. So I have another question here, this time from Neil. So Neil has a pretty long question here, so I'm going to go for it. So strap on. So, hi Hugo and Victor, congrats on the book. I purchased a copy and it's been extremely useful. Our company work both on live action and traditional 2D animation shorts and feature films. We've just adopted the ACES workflow in Nuke and Maya. With regards to 2D animated features, the background artists use Photoshop for painting all the background layers, etc., where they are then exported as PNGs. And I was wondering what is the best ACES workflow is when exporting the ACES from Photoshop into Nuke, as currently reading them as utility sRGB texture makes them look darker, incorrect, and not match what I see in Photoshop. Setting them from output sRGB matches closer, but I've heard that it's incorrect way and I shouldn't use it that way. P.S. We can't control what software is used or force certain settings in the Photoshop file to a degree as they are done by another company. So what's your view on this? Automatically when I hear PNG, I already shiver in my spine by hearing the PNG word there. Like, PNG? No, don't do that. Don't use a PNG nail.
Well, that is exactly part of the let's say the problem. That is not a problem. It's just Adobe quite recently started with After Effects managing the color in ACES. It's quite recent and it has been. And I think it's a very good move because it means that the software is integrating with the industry. Don't get me wrong, I love Nuke because it's the best compositing software, but After Effects is maybe it's the best motion graphics design software that is out there. So it is necessary. Everything that is now getting integrated into the pipeline needs to get into a color management system that is unified for everybody. And ACES is clearly the way. Well, Photoshop maybe is not still in that list. Every company now is finding their own way. Of course, you can script, you can create, as you said, big companies maybe can create their own ways and pipelines and all of that. So what will be the safest way? Well, I guess if you can start working with EXRs, maybe that is going to be a good way because you are going to start working in a linear fashion. You can use LUTs for visualizing, but you are going to start working in a linear way, and that is much safer because if you are working from a linear and then you import a linear into the ACES color management, the transformation that you are going to have, well, the IDT or whatever, is just going to be much closer. I get. The sRGB, the texture, and the other modalities that you have for importing sRGBs and interpretation always, and it's just by approximation of results, and it's never matching 100%. That is part of the deal. Right now, this is what you get if you are working with PNGs. I don't discard that maybe, and I'm actually quite sure Adobe is going to develop even the color management system for Photoshop. I mean, there is already like third parties and other things as far as I'm concerned because I'm a compositor and I'm not using Photoshop for this kind of stuff. Or when I use it even when it's coming from Nuke and I get something that is already in code, so I just need to match something. So I'm always using a third party to color manage that, and I'm just making sure I'm not breaking the chain inside Photoshop when I'm including Photoshop in there. But what I would suggest is like working EXRs in 16-bit at least, linear, float in linear, and that is going to help you with that.
And it works really well, actually. I've had really good experiences, to everyone to know, I've had really good experience with EXRs, and so EXRs you can actually go through in Photoshop and in some degree in After Effects as well. I would just suggest one thing to everyone here listening, like you just do round tripping constantly, because that's what I do as well, even between DaVinci. Just round trip, you know, like you export something, go to Photoshop, then save it in Photoshop, go back to Nuke, and then go back to maybe DaVinci, and just check if all three are the same, and check them all in the same monitor, just for peace of mind. But I think actually it works really well if you use EXR. Just stay away from PNGs. Someone was in the chat saying that maybe a JPEG. Don't use a JPEG.
If you use a
Don't use
JPEG,
anything.
a fairy dies. So don't use it. Don't use it, please.
Okay, so going back now to another question from the audience, we have. So I have a second question from Manny. So Manny, I'm going to say this to you once. I always say this. This will be for free. The third one, you'll have to pay for it.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
Yeah, $1.5 million at least. At least.
So, Manny asks again, I'm going to Spain and Portugal next year. I've never been to Europe before, and I'm excited to see all those countries have. Do you have any suggestions? So, man, you need to be more specific. Suggestions to what? To have some fun in tourism? Or actually suggestions to work? Because I can tell you some suggestions for fun. That's fine.
Yeah, yeah. For work, don't ask me. Don't ask me, please. I mean, Spain is great for having tourism. For work, I have no idea. Well, the thing is, like, I'm from the south of Spain. I'm from Cordoba. And I love Andalusia. So I'm just going to tell you that Andalusia is the best place in the thing. But what I can do, and now, because
fun. He wants fun. See.
Okay,
fun and tourism.
Good. So what you can do is you can land in Malaga, which is a beautiful coastal place, and you can rent a car, and just with the car you can just go to the coast and then goes into Portugal.
Welcome to Victor Perez Tourist Hour.
Exactly. So, so yeah, I have way more information about that than for Color and the book. Yeah. So yeah. Well, just don't make any plans. Just get lost. Just get a car, get lost.
That's a really good way to put it. Yes, absolutely. I must say, like, if you really want a special place in Portugal, because all the other places are taken already, so don't go to the Algarve, don't go to like the typical places everyone goes. You should try some place that is very close to my wife's birthplace. Like, my wife is from Setúbal, Ana, and there's a place there, a beautiful place called Troia, which is actually where the Trojan Horse Festival is in Troia. So that's like a really beautiful like valley with like some really nice forests, and then you have like the sea, you have the beaches, and if you're lucky, you even see some dolphins swimming as well.
Really?
Yeah. So Troia is a really beautiful place, and
it's now in my list.
It's a bit on the beaten. It's not really like as famous as Algarve and all the other places. So I would suggest that from Portugal. Now, if you don't like the beach like me, if you don't like the beach or sun, because I'm a vampire, I would then.
That's why we work in visual effects in dark rooms. Yeah.
If we're talking about Portugal, you definitely have to go to Porto. You know, that's where I was born, and Porto is really great. It's a really old city. So old that it's actually breaking apart, but that's fine.
So in that sense,
it's too old. But you know, you can go into the coast, into the Douro, and get some wine tasting. You can like travel around. It's a beautiful city. There's some markets. You know, it's a really tiny place though, but it's really cool to spend a few days for sure. Portugal is quite tiny, so I think you can kind of do it in a few days. And
very good wine in Porto. Very, very good wine. Very sweet, and I love it because it's so sweet that you drink and it's like, oh, it's nothing happening. Then you rise and he's like, oh, thank you very much.
Something is happening. Okay, so this was the tourist hour of Victor Perez is over now. So we have another question here, this time from Siri Ram. So Siri Ram, I believe he was on my stream a couple of weeks ago, I believe. I think that I remember that name. So his question is really short. Can we have a proper color pipeline from After Effects to Nuke?
Yeah. It's managed now.
Yeah.
You can have the AC, so you can coordinate both.
It's funny that the reason I wanted to read this question is because I've noticed this is something that Adobe needs to do better. I feel like they have not really showcased this enough, because I think a lot of people still think it doesn't work. like because it didn't work before. You
Yeah,
know, it
yeah.
always didn't work. It never worked. Photoshop and After Effects never really did ace as well. They've implemented it quite a while ago, and I think it works just fine. You don't need any third party. It's all working there. It's all operating. So see if you can look some tutorials. Be careful, of course, online. See who's doing the tutorial first.
Oh, that is very important. That is very important. Be very careful. You can learn online. There are many resources, but be very careful. Just check who is teaching at the credentials, because there is nothing worse than learning something wrong. So, I mean, you have the best tutorials from this guy. So just go to the right way and go to this guy.
So apologies, Sri Ram. I apologize that it wasn't you that were on my stream. I apologize for that. I am terrible with names. I'm already going to say this. I'm terrible with names. I never remember any name. I never know whose name is what. So don't take it personally. I probably confused the name with someone else. That's fine.
He called me Antonio many times. Yeah.
So Nikki Lambert is suggesting Estoril in Portugal, and yes, Estoril is amazing. It's a really beautiful place as well. Used to be the place where we had the Grand Prix of Portugal when Formula One was still in Portugal, but then unfortunately the track, which is really near Sintra, which is a really beautiful place as well, they left it so badly managed that it's so derelict now, so that they can't even race there anymore, according to the regulations, which is a shame because, it was a really, really popular track. You had Ayrton Senna winning there, you had Nigel Mansell. It was a really famous track, and especially the back plate of the track, you could see Sintra and the hills, and it was a really, really pretty. It was like almost in the middle of the forest, but, that's how Portugal is. Portugal leaves things to rot. So that's it. Okay, so I have a couple more questions. I think there's more questions on the chat here. So we've been running for pretty much 40 minutes now. As I always tell my audience, we take very care of everyone here. So we do a responsible stream. So I always do breaks, as you all know from my stream. So we always do the break between 40 to 45 minutes. We're going to do a break now, and then we come back and we go in a bit deeper into Victor's book. So as you all know, please get up of your chair, drink some water, stretch your legs, get some blood flowing, go up, down the chairs, and I'll be offline for about 10 minutes, so you can put your clock if you want. We'll be back in about 10 minutes, and I'll see you all very soon for more Victor Perez.
Oh, yeah, I will talk about this. Promise.
Yes, we will. Okay, I'll see you very soon. See you in 10 minutes. Okay, we are now back. Thank you so much, everyone. I can still see that everyone is still here. Everyone is still here enjoying watching two old dudes here.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Well, a lot of gray hair
Yeah.
to spare. I have one gray hair for each note I got from clients. That's usually what I say to everyone.
Bling.
So whenever you give me a note, I just have another one. Okay, so first things first. Before I even forget, and I do apologize that I did this before. So as I said on the beginning, we have giveaways. I'm giving away my new course. Victor here is giving away his book. And Foundry is giving away a new Kindle license. And so because of that, I'm going to play the video from the Foundry. They were very kind to me to give me like a really nice commercial about their learning websites and all the resources you can get, like a lot of like all the resources about online that they have. They have an amazing website with a lot of resources. They also have like an amazing YouTube channel. So I'm going to play the video and we'll be right back. Okay, it's only a couple of minutes. Don't worry.
It's super cool, by the way.
Yes, it's super cool. So I'll play it and then we'll be right back.
Foundry's Nuke is the industry standard tool for compositing in the film and TV industry. We've produced and curated all the essential resources for learning Nuke and preparing you for the profession, as well as recommendations for other training resources. You'll learn compositing fundamentals, rotoscoping, keying, tracking objects, color management, 3D compositing, and much more. Our objective is to empower artists with all the knowledge they need to push their skills to the next level. Jump in and start learning today.
Should I keep the white? That's like, wow, it's nice with some white behind. No, I won't leave the white. Because, as I said before, we are vampires, so we're going to continue with blackness.
Starting getting like a rush. Yeah.
So, as you saw there on that video, Foundry has an enormous amount of resources that you can go and learn Nuke, including videos from Victor and video from myself. A lot of YouTube channels there. There's a lot of really good content. And this goes without saying that if you're learning Nuke right now, do not just go to YouTube. Go first to the Foundry's website and check the approved and basically cleared, not cleared, what's the word?
It's precise.
Yeah, no,
precise.
I mean like not catered, like the museum. There's always like a person choosing the work.
Ah, yeah.
What's the word? I'm having a brain fart now. It doesn't matter.
It's a collection of...
Yeah, so it's been curated,
yeah.
Exactly. So the website for the Foundry is really well curated, and it's actually curated with the best content online. So you should just go there first and then go somewhere else, because there is a lot of bad content online, a lot of really nasty content that is really bad and really not worth your time. Yeah. So just be careful with that. And if you're ever in doubt about something that you're watching online, just go and research the person, just check their internet database, check their website, and if you can't find anything, that should be your first clue.
Yeah, that is already in itself. If you don't find, it's already enough.
Exactly.
But one of the best tricks that I can give anybody, and this is like a very good one. In every node, when you go to the properties, the area of the properties of the node, there is a question mark. If you click the question mark, it's just taking you to the official support site, and you're going to have tutorials, greeting tutorials, videos, and it's the easiest way. So if you want to learn software, that is the way. If you want to learn compositing, well, that is a different thing. Okay, so compositing and software are apple and oranges.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I saw a question regarding something like that on the.
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna get as I said before, you can keep coming with the questions. I'll try to pick them up as best as I can. In the meantime, we're going to go a little bit into Victor's book. So keep the questions coming. I'll come back to them later. Don't worry. We're not going anywhere. We don't have any plan. There's no plan.
Yeah. Which is the best plan.
Exactly. It's always the best plan. So I guess I had a couple of questions that aren't really relevant anymore. But I would say that my first question was, I already asked you, I think someone already asked why you did the book, but how was it doing the book? And while we're talking about that, I'm going to put the book there for you to show it.
Well,
So,
the book, seriously, let's take a minute to acknowledge the setup of Hugo Guerra is just amazing. He has gadgets for absolutely everything.
Victor is talking about
Look!
this. We basically have a book camera.
I mean, like, seriously, he has a camera for books.
Yes.
So
Yes, I do.
I cannot be happier. So yeah. This is my book, the color management handbook for visual
And hey,
effects
look here.
artists.
You're gonna be on the little corner there as well. Look, you
No,
can still.
oh my
You're still in the
God,
corner there.
Seriously,
This is a
seriously,
serious
this
production.
guy is like, come on, he's the best. So, this is my book. It was released last month actually, and it took me 3 years to write the book. 3 years because I had to research a lot in terms of to cover everything and many things that I just need to be super sure and secure and understand what everybody needs, not just compositors, but every visual effects artist in general. So that's why it's not the handbook for compositors, it's just for visual effects artists. And so it's like the broad knowledge, but trying to be schematic in everything that I put in here. And there are over 200 pictures in the book. I prefer the print of this one.
Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to mention. That first of all, apologize, Victor.
Yeah.
This was not me. Okay.
I
This
will
was
talk to
not
Amazon.
me.
I
This
will
was
talk to
not me.
Amazon about
Okay.
this.
Amazon did that. It wasn't me. I just want to make sure everyone understands that it wasn't me. Okay.
I need a word with
Yes, I'll
Amazon.
put that full screen so you can notice a bit better.
So yeah, this is like the
Oh, man,
hardcover.
This is not going to work.
version.
Look, it's not straight.
It's okay. No worries.
I like it when
can-
it's straight. You see, like. It's just like
This guy is so precise.
now it's straight.
It's so
Now it's
precise.
straight. Oh, you want me to put the guides? I can put the guides as well. No, I'm joking. I'm just kidding.
So yeah, the printing here. There is also a Kindle version that is really good because of the quality of the graphics. But I personally love books in paper.
Yeah.
So yeah, it depends. It depends on what you like. The important is not the paper for me. The important is the content. And yeah, it took me over 3 years.
But tell me something, Victor. So, how did this happen? Because, like, how was it? You already said how this happened, but how was writing this? What was the process, and what was the process of doing this? I'm assuming you had to talk with a bunch of people. It took a lot of research. You probably use a lot of other books. How is it like doing a book like this? Because the problem with this, in my view, is that it has to be so precise, right?
Yeah.
It can't, because this is not like a guerrilla style, I'm going to make a book about compositing. No, it's not the same thing. It's like, it's a maths book almost, isn't it?
It's science. And the problem it's not the problem, it's the feature. So like, the question of writing about science is like science is not an opinion. So you cannot just invent science. So you have to check. So that's why I was being advised by many people that is very, very good. That is in the preface. But by the way, who wrote the foreword of this? Oh! Look
I
at
have
this.
no idea who that is.
Look at this.
No, I'm just gonna say it out right now. I think this is AI. It was written by ChatGPT. No.
Yeah. So yeah, I asked Hugo to write. It was my pleasure to have him in the book. It's like, I mean, we know each other for many years, and I love him. So it was my honor to have him. And in here, if you see in the preface that I wrote, I'm acknowledging a lot about what is right in the book, which is like a task of science, but it's science for artists. So, believe it or not, the most difficult part of the contents of the book for me was to understand what do you need to know to understand color management. The book is not just about color management. It's to provide you with everything that you need to understand color management. So color spaces, so everything that is surrounding the idea. So in the acknowledgement, I have put in here so many people that inspire me to do the book, that help me in a way or another. Foundry is like, of course, the first one.
Oh, who's this guy? I've heard of this guy.
Yeah, it's like, I think,
Who's that
I think
guy?
I know him. I think I know him. Actually, Ian.
Little plug of the VFX. Little plug of the VFX Notes podcast here on Hugo's desk.
Actually, Ian, I have to acknowledge that. Ian was one of the first reviewer that the editor contacted just to check. Is like, do you think this book will be interesting? And Ian was like, yeah, we are waiting for this. So thank you, Ian. You rock. I love you. And yeah, so it was like the first part that took me a long time was deciding what's in and what's out. So science is very, very precise. So I cannot invent that, but I need to control what do you need, because there are many things of the color science that maybe you as an artist don't need, but there are others that maybe are not directly related with color management that you need to understand in order to understand color management. In other words, it's like, in order to learn a foreign language, you need to understand the characters they use. If you want to learn, for instance, Russian, you need to understand the alphabet. First of all, you need to know the alphabet, because if not, you don't know how to pronounce the letters, so you cannot understand and connect the sounds to the word. So it's something like that. So I just needed to create like the minimum set of knowledge that you are going to get, and something that gets familiar for you also to get back to that. So that's why it's a handbook. It's something that you have always at hand, and you can understand why things are behaving in the way that they behave. For instance, this picture, just by very random, this is about grain, film grain. Film grain, why do you need film grain? Well, exposition, the log exposition and all of that. So it's related to the basics. So that is something that I always believe as a teacher. When you are teaching a subject, it's not just about the subject, but to prepare the person that is studying to learn the subject. So it's not about, this book is not just about color science. It's just about the art, science, and technology of color. So that's why I love pictures, and I love making plenty of explanations. I mean, we are visual artists, you and me, so we like to see things, not just to read. So that's why for people that don't like to read much, it's full of pictures. It's like a kid's it's like a kid's book. You can just look at the pictures and you just learn a lot. And actually I made the book like in that way, because I mean, I'm not a native English speaker. So for me, writing everything in English with a super science background in there, it was like very challenging. I was like sweating a lot. But
you got like a comment here from Vapi VFX. Would be great to have a Spanish version.
Well, you know what? They are translating it to Spanish.
Great.
So yeah, it's going to be translating in Spanish. I still don't know the release, but I have to thank you all, because the book has been a success. So it's been a bestseller already in less than a month, and the editor is very happy. So they are translating it into Spanish. For the Italian version, because many people is asking me for the Italian version, it's quite unlikely right now, because Italy is just a small. The nice thing is, like, even if it's a small country, there are so many Italian artists. So if you press, maybe we can get it. I would love to, okay? So yeah, that is the story of writing the book. 3 years of my life in order to put together something that is not that big, because look, it's not that thick. I mean, this is like the hardcover, but if you see this, just in here, I believe you have everything you need to know in order to understand color management and even to deal with color management yourself. So yeah, it was a challenge, and I love it. I really love it, but it was really, really difficult, because I was working at the same time that I was writing. Not always was easy just to get things together. But
yeah, and I guess I know we're not going to show the whole book here, of course, because you need to go and buy it. You should go and buy it. But could you tell like the audience a little bit about what can they expect? Like, I'm assuming this is a very agnostic book, right?
yeah.
So you basically believe that it can be applied to most softwares that people are using.
Absolutely. So it's not about a software. And actually, I'm just putting a few examples of softwares, just like one for compositing, that is, of course, Nuke. Another for 3D, that is Maya. Another for color grading, which is DaVinci Resolve. But it's just to showcase, and I wanted to showcase those three because at the end of the day, it's exactly the same thing, because the color management is just based on a set of rules that you need to apply. So if you're using the same science, the same transformations, the same platform, everything is going to be familiar. So you just need to know where are the buttons to press. So it's not about what is this book is about the theory about the management. How you manage the color? Well, that is the manual of the software. So it's the difference between learning to drive a car and how the car works. So yeah, you can drive a car even if you don't know how the air conditioning is working inside the car. So that is the thing. So this is about driving. This is about learning how to understand color, because color is something that as an artist you need to understand. What I was most surprised about the topic of color management when I was researching is, like, as Hugo said before, it's like the knowledge is out there, but it's so unconnected. So many people knows a part, and it's like knowing a part of the knowledge can be very dangerous, because you are going to rely on gray areas or areas that you have no idea. So you are just going to fill the holes with whatever comes to your mind. So anything. So the book has been writing for that, just to put together everything in a simple way and in a way that artists understand, so you guys can learn everything that you need. I would have loved to have this book when I was starting. Yeah.
No, sure, yeah.
So that is what I wrote, what I used to struggle with.
Oh man, I think I say that on the forward. But if I had this book when I was at the mill doing the color management, oh my god.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh my god.
True.
It was horrible. We spent like years having meetings between the grade department, the compositing department, the 3D department. It was painful. And visual effects, you all know, everyone has an opinion. And so it's good that we have a factual book now. Of course, someone is going to say that you're wrong. I'm sure.
Of course.
Like,
and I hope they say after they buy the book. So yeah. Yeah.
So someone is actually asking here, will the giveaway be signed?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. And also to your name. So whoever is going to win, I'm just going to make sure is dedicated to you.
Great. That's good. I'll give Victor the name, whoever wins the book. And also another question which is relevant to the book as well. This book, this was Studio Davis that said this. This book will be followed by a course for visual effects and FX PhD, maybe? Is that what you're doing?
No, I don't think so.
Will you have a color?
I have enough with the book. And I think I have enough. Doing a tutorial of this would be like, no way. No, I mean, why not? Why not? It's just like, I love tutorials. I mean, guys, you know me. I mean, I love to record tutorials, and FX PhD is like one of the best places for tutorials out there. So I would love to, but I need a life. Basically, I'm just working on many things. Mostly supervising is just taking my whole career right now. So maybe if I have the time, and especially if I have the interest, maybe I can discuss about that. Just in the last year, I produced like 2 pro sessions, pro sessions in Spanish, 2 volumes, and then 1 in Italian. And then the Master of Light. Come on, give me a break. I cannot just record this as a tutorial. So,
should I put back the image, or you still want to show? Let's put back the image. Let's put this back. We can have it on the back there. Look at that, it's beautiful.
Oh wow!
With the colors there.
I mean, seriously, this guy is
I know. We can have like some stuff here. Just like some stuff
let's
there.
Let's put the hands also, just to make it more. Yeah. Look at this. Hands
I don't have
model.
anything else to put in.
Yeah.
Put some Pez as well.
Yeah.
Put some Pez there.
Yeah, it's always good.
Exactly. No, I'm joking. Anyway, like let's just get on with it. Okay, so I'm gonna take this off here, so that it's not in front of us.
Yeah.
So now that we know a little bit about the book's history and how it was done, my next question to you, my friend, is when are you gonna do the next book?
It has been a pleasure. Thank you very much. This is the end of this.
Are you planning? Like, that's what I wanted to ask you. Like, you've now done this scholar management. You've covered over the years. I've seen a lot of your videos and I've seen a lot of your content. You've covered a lot of topics. And so, are you considering doing a topic maybe on CG compositing, or maybe on compositing, or maybe something else? Have you considered that?
Yeah, I have to admit that I consider right now. I'm not writing right now, but I think sooner or later I'm going to put in a book the Master of Light, which is the Master of Light is just a compendium of my career analyzing light for compositing mostly and visual effects, but it's a way of synthesizing. It's using art, science, and technology and putting everything together, because what I believe the lack of knowledge, I mean not knowledge, the lack of teaching that is missing mostly out there is about art. It's a lot about software.
Yeah.
There is a lot about the technicalities, what about the art? Guys, we are artists. So I care about aesthetics, about analysis, reproduction, understanding light, concepts. We are filmmakers. Everything is about light for us.
It's called VFX artist.
Of course.
The word is there.
Exactly.
You just take all the out and it's just ART. That's the art. And that's actually, I'm really glad you said that. We had a question before a long time ago on the chat, and apologies that I'm only going to get to that now. We had a question from Sachin Bat. I'm assuming I'm butchering your name. I apologize for that. I am Portuguese. I can't say any name. So Sachin said, what's your opinion on Nuke or Fusion? Which one is better? And the question was to me and to you. Okay. I get this question all the time. What's better, Fusion or Nuke, or Shake or Nuke, or Maya or Houdini, or right?
Yeah.
None of them. You should all be agnostic. It doesn't matter which one you use. Some of the best films in the world have been made in After Effects. Some of them have been made in Nuke. Some of them in Blender. Sometimes you use Houdini. Sometimes you use Maya. It's just like what Victor said. It's all about the artist, the man behind the machine, the man or woman behind the man. I mean, and that's not what I meant, but what about the people behind the machine? That's all about that. So forget about the software for a moment. Become agnostic and don't take the hype of the software, because that's the biggest issue we have right now.
If you get obsessed with technology, you're going to forget about what technology is for. So technology is not it's a medium. It's a medium that we use to express. But you need to grow as an artist, as I said before. If you give the best pencil to the worst artist, the drawing is not going to be better. If you give even a piece of carbon to a very good artist, they are going to create a piece of art. Yeah. So this is the thing. And just to be clear, which is better, Nuke or Fusion? Nuke. That's it. So if you want to talk about software, I mean, it's just, of course, I use Nuke, but let's be serious about that. So it's not who is better or which one is better.
Exactly.
It's
because someone can do something amazing in Fusion as well.
Of course.
That's the thing.
Of course.
Of course, Nuke is more standardized and it's more embedded into our culture, and we use it more, and there's more people.
Exactly.
It's easier to find artists. It's easier to find them. It's the same issue we have with Photoshop, the same thing we have with Maya.
Yeah.
Of course, there's more Maya artists, there are more Photoshop artists than anything else. But that's not the point. The point here is don't be obsessed about the software or even the hardware as well. It doesn't matter how much RAM you have. It doesn't matter how many CPUs you get, many cores, how many graphic cards you have. None of that matters. None of that. I have done some of my best work on shitty machines at companies.
Yeah.
Really crappy machines. You guess what? The only thing I had to do was I had to wait a bit longer.
Yeah.
That's it.
More time for coffee?
Yes, or pizza. So,
so yeah. I mean, many people when we are talking about computers, everybody's so worried about processors and RAM, and then the most important piece of equipment is the monitor.
Yeah.
That is the most important. I mean, Hugo has been showing off many monitors and myself, and that is what really matters.
Exactly.
Because that is what you interact. Then the computer, of course, let's face it, the more you can get, the better, because it's fancy. Everybody loves Ferraris, but you can go with a small car. It's fun.
But I'm glad that you said that about the monitors. But yeah, of course, if we all could have like a Enzo monitor, if we all can have a Dolby digital monitor, I would love to have a Dolby here. A 50,000 pound monitor there. I would probably play my PlayStation 5 on it. That would be awesome. But we can't all afford that. But the thing with this is that, like, even if you have a really crappy monitor, there is always a way of making something out of it. Either you can color balance it, you can color calibrate it. As long as you know the things that can be found, for example, on this book, and other books as well, but of course this book as well, you can then calibrate your monitor to the best you can get from that monitor. I get this question all the time, like people, should I get the SW whatever, should I get the BenQ something, or the Dell Dream whatever? I always tell them, get whatever you can afford. Start with that. Start with the cheapest one that you can afford. Do your budget. Check, okay, I only have 800 quid. Okay, let's see what 800 quid can buy me. As long as it's roughly good, with a roughly good delta, doesn't have to be outstanding. We're not delivering cinema here. Like, most of you are probably going to start your career with simpler projects. You're probably going to get away with it. Of course, you can have scopes you can look at instead of having to look at the colors. You can calibrate it. As long as you do that kind of work, I can guarantee you that even a really bad monitor can still be useful.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
And even in the book, I talk about how to identify a good monitor. Because, everything is all about that. Is the best you can get. So don't get obsessed with technology and whatever. Maybe one day you are going to have fancy things, but it is not about that. It's about doing your best in the situations that you have, and being your best is just learning and get the best you can do with yourself, the best version of yourself. That is the only thing that matters.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing as well, you probably know me from buying a lot of used stuff. I must say as well, like, people are also sometimes losing a trick here, because I buy a lot of things on eBay. I buy a lot of used stuff. Never underestimate used equipment, because a lot of people are so obsessed with buying the latest stuff, they forget that maybe their monitor or their computer can still last 7, 8, 9, 10 years if it's well managed. And so sometimes, going to eBay and finding a used version of the monitor you want probably would be a better deal than buying a brand new thing, or the spanking new. Maybe the older like, if you buy the older model, maybe you'll still get a very good monitor. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about that. Someone is a bit obsessed, a bit upset on our chat. People really wanted you to give some live feedback to some of your work. Maybe I can bring you over one day to my showreel reviews. That would be lovely.
I would love to.
Yeah.
I would love to. This is a promise. I'll be back.
As you all know, I do showreel reviews every 2 weeks. If anyone is interested, they can send the showreel to. The links are always on YouTube. I do the reviews. I always do them alone by myself. But the important thing about this is that I never review a showreel by myself. I always have the person that did the showreel zooming in into the stream, so they can also talk and explain themselves. So they can explain themselves. Exactly. So I promise that I'm going to convince Victor to come back to do that. It doesn't even need to be in person. It can be in Zoom. So I'm definitely gonna bring Victor to do that. So don't worry. Don't be upset. Don't be mad. About that.
Yeah. Jeez.
Okay. A lot of people here on the chat saying that they're definitely gonna buy your book. So that's good. I get that. That's good.
Thank you.
Waiting for that review video. Okay. I don't know what you mean, but good idea. Showreel review with Victor. That's good. Okay. So. Now, we have, I'm sure people have more questions, and we still have the giveaway to do. We've been on for 1 hour and 20 minutes. I can't believe it.
Wow. Wow.
So I wanted to do something I've never done before on my stream. I wanted to do some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
So I never done this. I only have a few. Don't look at the monitor here, so don't you read them. So, Victor, I prepared these questions. Most of them are for fun. Some of them are serious. Doesn't matter. Try to answer the fastest you can. The first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
That would be the idea.
I promise.
Not too fast though. But
Okay.
But let's try this. Let's try this. So
Okay.
this is my first ever rapid fire questions. This time with Victor Perez. So first question: favorite film?
Inception.
Okay. Favorite director?
Christopher Nolan. No, that is me. I mean,
You're like the Oscars, like that.
Yeah.
You're not the actors. Like one goes for the director, the other one goes for. Okay.
No, yeah.
Okay. That's
so,
fine.
Well, see,
That's
I
fine.
love Steven Spielberg as well.
Okay. Beer or wine?
Wine.
Okay, that's good. That's like me. What's your favorite city?
London.
Okay. Is it like, what do you think, Victor or Raul?
Victor. Only my man. Had the right to call me Raul.
Okay, Raul, that's fine.
Yeah.
So now welcome to the stream with Raul Perez.
It sounds like that. And I have two surnames, like all Spanish. So I have Victor, Raul, Perez, Raya. So, by the way, it's always, I got used to pronounce it like in the English version, but actually my name is Victor Raul Perez Raya. So it's a very different sound, but now it sounds even weird for myself because I'm so used to the other version. Anyway, traumas from infancy. Yeah.
I don't understand why Portuguese do the same. They always have very long names. I don't understand why we have so many long names.
It sounds
It's like
very.
I know we're really
masculine,
important.
yeah.
We're really important. Okay, so acting or visual effects?
Visual effects.
Okay, Transformers or G.I. Joe? Action Force, I guess. That's what it was called.
Well, Transformers, yeah.
Well,
Transformers.
yeah. Well, I know that. Like you've done, you used to do some films. Do you still have those films? The films you used to do when you were a kid.
Oh,
Do you still have
actually? Hugo in here has like everything from vintage things, and I discovered a few months ago that my family still keeps a VHS cassette with my very first
God!
stop motion thing that I did when I was 6.
Oh.
So one day I promise, if I find it and I take it, I will get it here so we can digitalize and I can publish.
Oh yeah, have a VHS right next to Victor. A VHS tape there.
So it was because it was a transformer. My very first piece was a transformer running as a car, and then in the middle transforming. And then with cotton, I was doing like explosions and things. I was 6. And I always have the feeling that for me, I started playing with visual effects, and I still play doing visual effects, but now they pay me. That is the only
We're so
difference.
lucky. I know.
Yeah.
I always feel so lucky, and to everyone on the audience, you should feel lucky, man. This industry is a really big pleasure to work on something like this. So
It's an honor to be an artist. Honestly.
Absolutely. Okay, so more serious question: do you prefer green screen or blue screen?
Blue screen.
Why?
Because blue screen at least has something in particular that is natural, which is the color of the sky. So I prefer blue screen. Well, it depends, of course, in many things, but blue screen is something that, for me, is easier to dispel sometimes, depending on what is in the... But by setup, I would rather go with blue if I can.
Okay. So English, Italian, or Spanish?
Depends for what.
Which is your favorite language?
Yeah, I like English because it's very professional. I like Italian because it's very fluid, and Spanish is the language of love.
Okay. Oh, that's the language of love.
Yeah, of course.
So, summer or winter? Oh, you're taking too long now.
Summer.
Okay, and the last question. I promise next time I'll do this better. The last question, the most important of them all. What's your favorite food? It's difficult. I know, it's difficult.
I love everything.
Here's a Spanish person not saying what his favorite food is.
Flamenquines. It's a very typical thing from Córdoba, from the south of Spain. If you don't know, search on Google, and then is going to be the last thing. It's like super hardcore food. It's like fried. Okay, just have a look. I love it. And I love it. Yeah, that is my favorite food. That was maybe the most difficult question I ever got in an interview. So, yeah.
It's the most important question.
And the most
important question.
Of course.
And everyone here knows that what's the answer to that question from my side? It's pizza, of course. Pizza is the best thing in the world. There's nothing you can do about it. But it has to be Italian pizza.
Yeah.
I don't care whoever else says anything. Oh, some people know what Flamenquinho is. Someone is like saying that.
And salmorejo. Yeah, of course. Wow. It's fine.
Okay, so I guess we have a question here which is into. Well, there's another question which is more loaded, but one more simple one. Sajal, thanks Sajal for being here. He's one of our moderators. Sajal is asking here, question for Victor: is the book in hardcover? It shows one in Amazon India, but the cover is different. So I guess that's what we have here.
So,
we actually have. Yeah.
This is the hardcover.
Yeah, I'll put it.
It's hard.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yes,
So
that is true.
it's hard.
Look. It's really hard.
So it's hardcover. The quality of the print is better because the pages and the paper is special. And then you have like the regular paperback.
Okay. Cool.
The contents is exactly the same, even if they look different, but the content is exactly the same. This one has like a better print. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you have like the Kindle version, but they are all the same.
Yeah. Cool, man. Cool. Thanks for the questions. Now, one more loaded question, which is on my list of my own questions. And I wasn't sure if I was going to go into this because this could take some time.
Okay.
So, but we'll be brief because we still need to do giveways and then wrap up.
Because we're hungry mostly.
Yes, exactly. We're mostly hungry and hungry. Angry and hungry, I guess. Has a Portuguese accent here. Angry, hungry, no one knows what I'm talking about. Okay, so big question here that we have, and this was one of my questions that I didn't ask yet. So, Hasmid Eljandi asks, ask him about directors claiming no CGI on movies.
Oh!
So, how long do you have?
Yeah, now I get it. Okay. I'm just tired of this thing because I'm just going to put it very, very easily. Why why directors get upset with visual effects? It's very simple. You only see bad visual effects. So when they ask themselves the questions like, okay, let me remember things with visual effects, you only remember bad things or bad visual effects, because good visual effects are so well integrated that you don't notice them. And that, my friends, is not the fault of visual effects artists. That is the film itself. If the film is good, you don't question visual effects. And let me put something out there that is going to create some controversy, which is the visual effects of the original Star Wars for the standards of today are, let's say, terrible, because you can see the trick, but still is maybe one of the best movies ever created with visual effects. Why? Because you don't care. You don't care. When you start pointing at something in a film, something like, I don't know, the music. When someone say, oh, the music of this film is really good, it means the rest is not good. So a film is like something that is connected to each other in the departments, in everything. So you cannot just isolate one area of the film. It means that it's not working with the rest. It's like a chorus. When you're singing in a chorus, the whole chorus needs to sound like one voice. So the film is exactly the same. You notice visual effects when visual effects are bad. When they are good, you don't notice them. So for all the directors out there, I will recommend it to inform yourselves. Just have a look at what they are doing, because, for instance, and I'm just going, I said before, who is my favorite director? It's Christopher Nolan. And I work on a Christopher Nolan movie, by the way. So I know that he has a tendency, which is very good, which is, if you can shoot it for real, go for the real thing. And yeah, it's true. But then when I hear a few declarations about Oppenheimer, and he was trying to recreate the atomic explosion without using CGI because, of course, it's much better. No, sorry. I don't agree. I saw the atomic explosion of the creator, which is amazing.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And it's CG, and there is nothing wrong with that.
It's a huge shame that film is not getting more views,
Yeah.
because that film is absolutely outstanding. It's
Yeah.
an amazing movie.
The visual effects are the finest of
and the
year,
movie
in my
itself
opinion.
is amazing. Everyone needs to go and see and support the creator. The Blu-ray is going to be out soon. I've already bought it. It's just a mind-blowing movie, which really didn't get a lot of love on the cinema, which is a shame.
Yeah.
Because people keep complaining that there's not enough good movies and not enough new movies with new IPs. Here's a new IP, here's a good movie, and no one goes and watches it.
Yeah,
So it's a bit of a problem. But I think, Victor, you're completely right. Man, I couldn't say it better. And in fact, if anyone here wants to know, on the 8th of December, we're going to have a big event here at Hugo's Desk, and it's going to be we're going to be hosting the VFX Day for the first time. It's going to be a 12-hour stream. Victor will be presenting as well. I'll be presenting, and there'll be a lot of people presenting, a lot of companies. I think it's like 30-something presentations. Like I said, it's like 12 hours long,
Crazy.
which I'm going to be hosting here on Hugo's Desk. So put your calendars on. It's on the 8th of December. Now, in the meantime, I would really recommend you to, first of all, I'm gonna post an article from me, but if you want to know more about this topic, I would really advise you to go and read this article that I wrote. And I know that most people don't read articles all the way, but for those of you who don't want to read it, you'll be happy to know that I'm actually making a video out of this article. So this is an article I wrote in September about this exact problem of CGI backlash for the Creative Blog post. And the article is quite long, but I'm making a video out of it. The video will broadcast live on the 8th of December on the VFX day. And also, if you don't want to wait, you should also watch Jona's video about no CGI is really just invisible CGI. I'm going to put it on the chat here as well. You should go and watch this video and support Jonas's amazing video as well, because it's one of the first large videos on YouTube as well, talking about this entire dilemma. So this is a really big topic, and we're going to talk more about it on the day of the VFX Day, because Ian is going to interview Jonas about this problem. I'm going to broadcast my video based on that article that I wrote, and I know more people during the day are going to also talk about this problem, because this backlash can't continue like this. This is a problem, a huge problem, and it's going to really bite us on the ass in the long run. So it's up to us. It's all up to us to flag this up. Just recently, I was really happy that someone was on the internet, on Twitter, it was exploding that Napoleon was all shot for real. It was all exploding like that. And I was really happy that we made so much noise about this that actually some of the people that wrote those articles actually apologized for the articles, and actually brought it back, and actually even said that it wasn't completely true. So I'm really happy that we all should be as vocal as possible about this, because it's really important for our industry to be recognized and for us to be able to show our work. So, I'm going to leave it there, but I just wanted to I don't want to start doing a rant. I do these rants on VFX Notes all the time, and I don't want to do I don't know. I made an amazing rant on Oppenheimer, and I made an amazing rant also on Extraction. Those 2 episodes are going to be out soon with Ian Files, and you'll see those rants. I'm so upset. So I'm going to stop being upset.
And it's beautiful. I mean, Christopher Nolan has a beautiful way of doing that, but there is no need. He doesn't need to discriminate visual effects for being visual effects. It's
But the truth as well is that I also talk about that on my article. I sometimes don't think it's also sometimes their fault. I feel like a lot of things. Well, first we have a problem that sometimes their quotes are mismanaged or taken out of context. That's one problem, where they said something but maybe it was for a specific shot, or maybe they meant just full CG on that specific frame, and then it gets out of the proportion because it gets clickbaiting. So I think that's another problem that happens. And then I think also the second problem is that marketing has taken over movies. And so a lot of times these behind the scenes are not really behind the scenes. They're marketing vehicles for actors to pretend that they've done all of it for real. They're marketing vehicles to try to sell the movie. I mean, we've seen this time and time and again. Years ago, Mad Max Fury Road had the exact same problem. Everyone said it was all real, it was all real, it was all real. And the damage is always because millions of people watch those videos that are marketing that push them, and then only a couple of thousand watch the real breakdowns. So we have a really large disconnect. So I think the visual effects industry really needs to be better at sharing and broadcasting word of mouth on social media on more simple terms, because sometimes sometimes our breakdowns and also our explanations are too complex to the general public. We need to have a better language to explain things. It has to be simpler. Like I sometimes show breakdowns to people that are not in this industry. They don't even know what they're looking at.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, there's like some lines and there's like some wipes. What is that? What is that? They don't even understand what they're watching.
Yeah.
So this is a major problem, and I think we also need to be better at explaining ourselves. Again, go and read my article. I talk all about that.
And we need to support each other.
Yeah.
At Double Negative, there has been so many people working on Oppenheimer, and they did an amazing job. So even not getting the recognition on the credits, that is bad. So we should support each other, and we should even work just in divulgation, because the awards, it is great to get an award, the Oscar, but that is just one movie. Every year we produce so much awesome stuff, and that cannot get there because it's not the place. So we need to make an effort just to promote everybody that is good, and who is not good, let's help them to get good. So we are all a community, so let's behave as such, and let's support each other, and let's work together. So,
Absolutely. Couldn't say it better. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's just do, I guess, we've been running for a long time. I can't thank enough everyone that has been here. We had almost 500 people watching today. We're going to do some giveaways
it's time.
now, so that's the time. So now finally you've been forced to hear us for an hour and a half now, and now we
maybe
finally
you mute us.
So okay, we're gonna do the giveaways. Let's just start this over. So I have, let's see here, how many people signed up for the giveaways. I've already put the links on the chat, so be sure to sign up. So we have 74 people, 64, 75. Okay, cool. So let's start with my course. That's the least important of them all. So we'll start with that one. And then we'll wrap up with the most important one.
Just put my name in there so maybe I can get it. So,
Okay, so I'm going to run the thing here. So I'm going to draw the winner. And then remember, this is always the same thing. You need to be on the chat for you to win. So if you're not on the chat, if you're not here because you just signed up and then you left, you're not going to get anything. So you need to be here live. And if you're not going to be here live, I'll just like roll it again. Although, to be fair, I've given away anyway to most people. A lot of times people say they're not here, and then I give them anyway. So I'm
too good.
Yes, I'm nice. So okay, so the first winner, I'm just gonna write it here. So Nick, be careful not to put your email. The winner of Hugo's desk course is, and I love that people always have such easy names to say. It's always so nice that people on the internet have such easy things to say. Okay, so the winner of the new course is Joseph P06468665.
Which is a name that any have in the street. I cannot imagine your mom calling you when you were a kid if you are named like that.
So I'm assuming you're called Joseph. I hope so. Yeah. So Joseph, okay, cool. You're already here. So sweet. That's what he said.
Joseph, you won.
Congratulations, Joseph. So you won my new course. So Joseph, don't worry. I'll email you in a couple of days. I have your email here, so I'll email in a couple of days. Congratulations for winning the new course. Now you have to bear with my voice for about 55 hours. I apologize for that.
In a row?
In a row, yes.
Sleeping.
Yes. Yeah. It's 150 classes. So, and you have to watch it all in 24 hours. No, I'm just...
Yeah. The 50 hours in 24 hours, of course.
Roz here is actually asking, is your masterclass in English?
My master is not available yet in English, but you have the Master of Light. If you want to get that is www.nukemasterclass.com. And you
Okay,
can
cool.
find in there the Master of Light.
Okay, cool. Excellent. Okay, so let's do the second winner. So this time it's going to be an amazing Nuke Indie 1-year license.
This is a good one.
Yeah, so it's worth £500, and so Foundry was very kind to give it to us. Much love from the Foundry. Thank you so much for giving this license to my audience. Much appreciated. So I'm going to draw the winner there, and then we'll see who wins that. So I'm going to just write there. So the Nuke Indie license goes to... Let's see here. So I wrote, fat fingers. Look at that. Indie is not written like that. Okay, so the winner, another name that no one will ever know. Okay, that's great. My name on the internet is just Hugo Guerra. It's simple enough for everyone to know.
Yeah.
I'm joking. So, okay, so the Nuke Indie license goes to EMVF64. What's up with the numbers?
Yeah,
What's up with the numbers?
Yeah, interesting. Interesting.
Okay, so the winner of the Nuke Indie license, courtesy of the Foundry, goes to EMVF64. That's you? Okay, how do I know it's you? That's the thing, isn't it? So, maybe... okay, so wait a minute. This is on Twitter, right? Yeah, I think it is. Why don't you tell me... So that I know it's you. I always have this problem. I never know if it's them or not because of these names. Okay, so if Basic CGI says it's them, why don't you tell me where you're from? Tell me that then. Where are you from? So that I can check if it's true. Oh, okay. You already wrote your email. Okay, that's fine. Then it's you.
Yeah, okay. Well,
congratulations, Basic CGI. So Basic CGI, also known, aka Seesaw40, aka... EMVF64. You have a lot of names, my brother.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you've won the Nuke Indie license. So Foundry will contact you directly with that. It will be for 1 year, and then you can use Nuke. I hope you don't have Nuke already. I hope
congratulations.
so. El Salvador, look at that.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's cool. El Salvador. I've never been in El Salvador. Have you ever been in El Salvador?
No, never. But I have to go.
Okay. So now the real giveaway comes.
Oh, come on.
And this is the giveaway for this book. For the book, The Color Management Handbook for Visual Effects Artists. Victor Perez is going to sign this copy with the name. And whatever name it is, even the numbers will be the name that he's going to sign.
Okay, well, you can write an email. Well, I can put both.
You can put like a... Thank you so much, EVF64.
At 2591. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's go and do this. So that's the last giveaway. So the giveaway... Let's see how many potential winners do we have. So we have 85 people potentially to win this.
Oh.
So let's see who... Drum rolls. I don't have a drum roll. I need to get like a sound machine, don't I?
Come on, you don't have that. This
I
is
know.
I want my money
I'm leaving
back.
now.
I want my
I'm
money back, yes.
Oh my god. Okay, so the winner of Victor's book is... So... fat fingers again. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's draw the winner. Okay, so we have the winner here. Let's just... oh man, my god, this software is like so bad to copy paste. Are you gonna do this to me? Really? Oh my god.
I think it's going to be
there you
even
go.
faster if you write, even if it's like...
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. Apologies for that, everyone. This is riveting content that we're doing here.
Yeah.
Okay, so the winner of the book is going to be at Moha_Samp. I think that's how I pronounce this name. I think so. So, are you here? So the winner is at Moha_Samp. Oh, yeah, that's you. I guess it is. Mohammed Sampson, you won. So the book is going to go to Nicaragua. Sorry, I pronounce it. Nicaragua. I can't say
Nicaragua.
it. Sorry,
Nicaragua.
I'm so sorry. So yeah, cool.
Se habla
So,
español en Nicaragua.
so it's going to be signed by Victor as well, and we'll send it over to you. So congratulations for winning the book. And we'll be in contact. I'll give the email to Victor, and he'll be in contact. And congratulations, my friend. That's it, really.
Well,
Look at that. That's
yeah.
it.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you. Let me give you a high five.
Thank you so much. We have to have you back, of course.
I
Whenever
would
you're in
love
London,
to.
you're always welcome to be here,
Yeah.
to come to Hugo's desk. And of course, I already promised on the chat, you promised as well, you're going to be back for the showreel reviews.
I keep promising.
So Victor will be here. Thank you so much to all the 500 people that watched today. Thank you so much. That is
Thank
amazing. I think that's a record for my YouTube channel.
Thank
I don't
you.
believe I've ever had 500 people watching in one day. So congratulations for that. And as you all know, you can always watch this again. The VOD will be available in a couple of hours. I just need to put chapters. So I'll put the chapters so you can navigate the stream. And then I'll post it on social media, and I'm sure Victor will post it as well. Look at that. They're asking me for one more giveaway. Okay, I'll do one more.
I put another book.
Oh my
I put
God.
another
Oh
book.
my
Let's
God.
do it
Oh
this
my-
time.
oh my
Just
God.
to celebrate because you guys are so amazing. 500 people. Come on. Let's do it. I'm going to give away another book.
Oh
just
my
because
God. Okay.
This was a very special moment. So yeah. Let's do
Okay.
it.
I need to reset the winners here. Let me just double check because I need to like.
Or we are going to end to give this. Another book to the same person, which is not a good thing. So yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna do that again. So the link is still up. So the link is still up until 8 o'clock. So you can still sign up if you want. The link, just scroll through the stream. You'll get the link. We're almost done. So I'll do another nuke. I can't do another nuke license. I apologize for that, but that I can.
I mean, yeah.
Can't do one of those because I don't believe Foundry is watching. If they are, they can find it, like they can say something on the chat, and then I can put another one. Hopefully we do. I need to like update this because we already did 2. Because I always do 2 in case one is not here, so I'll do it again. So okay, so let's do this. I'll start with my course, which is the less important one. I'll do that one.
Oh, come
so the second.
Can you imagine that
course?
My name just get out of this? It would be amazing.
Going to okay. So the second winner for my nuke course, draw winners. So have to be the third one here because the other 2 already before. Okay, I actually believe this is a student of mine. I'm not sure. Maybe it is not. So let's see here. So so the next okay, it stops there. Okay, so the nuke course goes to Avenko. I think that's how I think that's how I pronounce that name. So Ivanko. I guess it's Ivan. Ivan something. Ivanko. Yeah, probably that. So Ivanko, you won the nuke course. I hope you're here. If you're not here, I already have another name there to go. So are you here? Can I see? This is always by the way. This is really delayed. Because it gets delayed and more delayed because YouTube puts ads in the middle. So it gets more. Sometimes when I do a stream for 4 hours, it's like half an hour delayed. Yeah, this won't be that delayed. I noticed there that it's not that delayed. It's like maybe 2 minutes delayed right now. So, but okay, I'll wait for Even to say something, and even if Even doesn't say anything. Oh, here he is. Okay.
Yay!
Congratulations, Ivan. I guess it's Ivan. Maybe it's Ivan. Ivan Kater won the nuke course. Congratulations. So I'll be contacting you soon. So congratulations. The course goes to the Ukraine. That's great. Cool. So I'm going to just then do the last one. So I'm going to just click this button here so I don't forget who won. Okay, so let's go to the next one. So this will be now the last giveaway, okay? I just want everyone to know.
So this, which is off, I just get the plaque and I just remove it.
Look at here. I'm so bad at this. I'm so bad at promoting. Sajel here, my moderator, he's the one promoting that my course is on Black Friday sale right now. I didn't even say that during the whole stream.
Come on, you should go, guys. Really.
And actually, Victor's courses are also Black Friday right now on sale. So both Victor's course on Black Friday and my course is on Black Friday as well. Thank you so much, Sajel, for promoting my own course.
Which is kind of convenient in your own stream. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I completely forgot about it. That's how good I am at promoting myself. Okay, so let's see who won the last book. So this is the color management book from Victor. And let's just do the winners here. So winners. And oh, wait a minute. I need to like edit this. Sorry, because we already did the winners before.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I need
Someone
to do
is getting 2 books right now. So, yeah.
Apologies for that. Hey, we do have like a video whenever these kind of things happen. We do have a video for that. So when there's a technical problem, that's what happens.
Very convenient.
Yes,
Very
exactly.
convenient.
Okay, I'm gonna update that. So apologies, as you all know, Hugo's desk is never smooth. There's always a garbage truck on fire somewhere.
That is part of the beauty. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to business here. I was just being very careful not to show the screen, otherwise people see their emails. Okay. Let's see here one. So I'm gonna roll the dice here, draw the winners. It has to be below these 2. And let's just see who won. So the book, the second book goes to, let's see here. So that's then, copy paste is wonderful here. Okay. So another amazing, easy name to say. So the second book and the final book, the final giveaway goes to Has Wind Siege? I don't know. Like
it's like when you're upset and you press in the keyboard. That is the guy's way of creating. Come on.
Apologies for that if anyone is upset by me pronouncing that. So are they here? I have no idea if they're here.
Yeah.
That's me. Okay. Oh yeah. Well, that's the name. Yeah.
With the space, it makes sense.
Yes, exactly. Now it makes sense. So Haswin, congratulations. The book goes to India this time. So we had one to Nicaragua, and we had one to India, and then one. The course went to the Ukraine. I can't remember the first course anymore. I think I've closed the window already. But thank you so much for everyone.
El Salvador. El
Salvador. That's right.
Yeah.
You know better than me. Okay, so I guess that's it, really, man. That's it. Thank you so much for all the questions. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch us live. And we'll be back, I'm sure. Victor will be back on Hugo's desk. Don't forget, on the 8th of December, the VFX Day, the World VFX Day, will be here live on Hugo's desk. And Victor will be here again. And I will be here again. And 30 other people will be here again. So we're celebrating VFX on that day.
Yeah.
So congratulations, everyone. Thank you so much for being
you.
here.
Thank you.
I'll see you all later.
See you around.
See you
Love
later.
the pixels.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I'm going to stop this here.